get through articulating things without getting all emotional. Because my mom always says, I don't know how this boy can remember so much stuff, and he gets up and he just spits it all out. But when I have to talk about them, and I have to talk about some of you, and I have to be in your presence, I learned this trick about, hey, just read it from a piece of paper. And that way, you don't forget your wife. Where's JB at? You know what I'm talking about, JB, right? Oh, man. Hey, it truly is a blessing and an honor for some of you folks that have come from Hawaii, come from the great state of Washington, up in Seattle, from all up and down the East Coast, because trust me, I've tried my best to stay on the East Coast. I thought Herbert Field was as far west as I should ever have to go, and it's not worked out for me. But there is folks who have come from all over the United States, and I am truly blessed and honored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue out a bunch of thank yous, because it's very, very important that I get an opportunity to say this in front of a captured audience. After that, I'm going to share some remarks with you, and there's a few other little things I'm going to throw in there, and then I'm going to stick to what General Cameron always tells me, is make sure that your 3 points are revolved around thank you, thank you, thank you. So the first thank yous, I'm going to get them out of the way, and it's not to shun anyone, but this is very important to me that I say what I have to say. So bear with me. You know, first and foremost, I give honor to God. That's my Savior. If it wasn't for Christ, I would not have made it this far. He presented numerous opportunities where he could have taken me off this earth. But he saw fit to use this flawed human for his good. I want to thank Colonel Stock Green for being the presiding officer of my retirement today, and more importantly for being an officer and a gentleman, a mentor, a friend, and a brother. Sam and you are the epitome of everything that's good. Distinguished guests and distinguished leaders, thank you for taking care of our airmen, our soldiers, our sailors, and our Marines every day. Commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, young officers, supervisors, and more importantly, the airmen and the soldiers of Team Shaw, thank you for attending. I want to thank my team for putting this entire week on. I'm telling you, we've been going hard and strong ever since last Saturday. I mean, we've been going hard and strong. But I will tell you, when I talk about, you know, the epitome of everything that's all good, I went, and I already knew I wanted to be the POC. So I said, Colonel White is the commander of the Force Support Squad, and I asked her, I said, I want this young lady, Staff Sergeant Tanya Sipos, to be the POC for my retirement. Colonel White said, that's a huge and daunting task, but Chief, we support you 100%, and we got all your top cover, and we'll take care of it. And Chief Joseph said, we got it, but we won't need to help her. And man, the things this young lady has done over the past week has amazed me. Young NCOs and young airmen, take heed. She is the standard. I want to thank my MCs. And let me tell you, I didn't get a chance to pick them. They came to me with a blank script, said, fill all this stuff in, we're MCing your event. I thank Tanya, Reese Palmer, and Damon Pettaway for being the MCs this evening. I also want to thank my hostess this evening, Teresa Green. I mean, everybody knows she's bossy and pushy, but trust me, she is about getting the business done. So she's going to host you guys throughout the rest of the evening as we get ready to go in and party tonight. So if you need anything, make sure you tap Teresa on the shoulder. She'll make sure it's taken care of. And she'll have her sidekick, Senior Airman Pruitt, helping her out. Thank you. Hey, I want to also thank the behind-the-scene team, First Lieutenant Cannon and Leona Mendoza, First Sergeant from the 20th LRS. I couldn't have done it without you guys. I want to thank my comms guardian gurus, those two gentlemen and young man back there in the back. You'd be surprised at the capability they have when it comes to communication. They are awesome. Thank you. I want to thank New Beginnings Catering, run by Miss Margaret Lawson and coordinated by her daughter, Joy James. I want to thank Scott's team at Carolina Skies Club and Conference Center, home of Thursday nights, Boss and Buddy, fueled by my favorite bartenders, Big Sarah, Little Sarah, Big Ken, Little Ken. Tip them well tonight. They get to work. I appreciate you. You know that. I want to thank the Carolina Pines Lodging, Holiday Inn Express, and the other hotels. We made y'all a lot of money this week. Trust me. I appreciate y'all taking care of my family and my friends. It really means a lot to me to make sure that they're comfortable and can be taken care of in such style and fashion. You know, I often wonder, do everyone else get that same treatment? And if they do, you know, we have one of the best lodging systems in the United States Air Force. It was built by Dalian Washington, and it continues to sustain by Lieutenant Colonel White. I appreciate both of you, and thanks for your folks for taking care of us. I want to thank Carolina Lakes Golf Course and Julie Smith's team at Sandwich Trap Cafe. I want to thank the Chiefs Group, led by my close and dear friend, Juanita Osby. I want to thank the Shaw Diamond Council, led by Rhonda Roman. You are the absolute right person to be the president of that council. I want to thank the top three, led by, during my tenure, Senior Master Sergeant Lisa Youngblood, Senior Master Sergeant Demetrius Jones, and now Senior Master Sergeant Frank Roman. They are the face of Shaw Air Force Base, and they are the ones, when I needed to push the buttons, that I knew would get it done. I want to thank you personally. I want to thank Team 5-6, led by Tech Sergeant Miller, and all the airmen of the Rising Fourth and the Air Force Sergeants Association. Thanks goes to the American Legion Post 175 and the Combat Veterans Group of South Carolina. A special thank goes to my circle, AKA my closest and dearest friends. They are the constant reminder that I'm just another point on the circle, and their unconditional love has stood the test of time. Thank each and every one of you for your loyalty and your friendship. I unconditionally love you all. I want to thank my business partners here in the audience, and we're not going to make anything public tonight because we ain't ready to go global with the brand yet. But it's coming. Get ready, it's coming. I want to thank my fraternity brothers and my sorority sisters. I want to thank the Grand Masonic family for your support and the endurance you've had to deal with supporting me. Thanks goes to those educational institutions that helped shape my intellect. At least that's what I like to think. East Carolina University, Okaloosa Walton College, University of Maryland's Asian Division, the Florida State University, Gettysburg College, the Center for Creative Leadership in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the Darden School of Business at the University of Virginia. I want to thank my mentors, and these chiefs truly were my mentors. Chief Master Sergeant D. Taylor, he would be here tonight, but D's had knee replacement surgery, so, but that guy is the one who held me together through some of my roughest times. Matt Emerson, Bill Dean, Richard Peoples, Bill Southall, Gary Coleman, Maurice Lagat, Carol Jackson, Jose Perez, Leffert Fate, Booker Woods, Alan Kelly, Mark Charles, and James J.D. Davis. As well as the following officers: Jeff Spann, Lori and Deuce Minnie, Deborah Blood, Sharon Johnson, Darwin Washington, Sandra Cookermeyer, Sock Green, and Scott Howell. Thanks goes to my former enlisted execs: Blaine Smith at the 16th Special Operations Maintenance Group, Kelly Barr, 1st Special Operations Wing, Angie Burton, Joint Special Operations Command, and at the 20th Fighter Wing, Amanda Payne, Darius Hopper, and Emma Sotomayor. I tell all the chiefs and all the sergeant majors and all the master chiefs that if you're ever going to have an enlisted exec, their job ought to be based on following and shadowing you and you professionally developing them. If they're there just to answer your phone and keep up with your calendar, you're wasting a precious resource. I could not have done my job without them. They knew my family better than anybody. They knew me because of the circle that I had of trust with them better than anybody. So I really, really, really think a lot of those folks whose names I just listed there. I want to personally thank General McChrystal, Admiral Braden, Lieutenant General Worcester, I should say, Major General Brosnack, Major General Webb, Brigadier General Howell, and Colonel Sock Green for their opportunity to serve as the Interim Command Chief of the 1st Special Operations Wing, the Senior Enlisted Leader of JSOC's Air Component Arm, and the Aviation Tactics Evaluation Group. By far the best job ever. Thanks to Colonel Sharon Johnson for their opportunity to serve as the Group Superintendent of the Air Force's largest Total Force Integrated Maintenance Group, consisting of active duty, Air Reserve technicians, traditional reservists, guardsmen, and civilian airmen. By far, best job ever. I want to thank General Hostage, Lieutenant General Rue, Chief Parsons, Major General Wells, Chief Rob Brooks, Brigadier General Moore, Chief Leffert Fade, and my friend for life, Colonel Clay Hall, for the opportunity to serve as Command Chief of the 25th Wing. By far, best job ever. I want to thank Lieutenant General Hesterman, Brigadier General Dennis, and Chief Shalina Fry for the opportunity to serve my remaining 8 months on active duty on the staff of Headquarters United States Air Forces Central, and also for teaming me up with Colonel Perry Panos and Colonel Paul Howell. By far, best job ever. Lastly, I want to thank my family, the most important ingredient of my character, my values, and my guiding principles. Your unyielding support and loyalty was unmatched. You're a generous and kind people, as my grandma used to say, with a disclaimer for the latter. See, my family's motto is simple. It's very simple. Don't ever mistake our kindness for weakness. We have, when necessary, a cold and calculating mean streak. And I have it no other way. I love each and every one of you with all my heart. You see, my mom is my role model. She always tells me, if you don't have anything nice to say, then you ought to just tell the truth. My dad is my hero, hard worker. Every single day of his life, he pushed us to make a way against even the toughest odds. My mother-in-law is my everyday example of sacrifice. She is my constant reminder of how to raise young girls to be great and strong women. I love each one of you. My sister, that's my reality check. Hey, she's my blind side. If you've ever seen the movie and know what it's about, Unbreakable Bond. I love you, sis. To Kalani Michelle, James Anthony, Kiana Lynn, and Michaela Ann. The last 28 and a half years were for you. You see, my kids have never, ever wanted for anything, but they've earned everything. And Michaela and Kiana will follow in their footsteps. To my wife, who's also my best friend, fellow airman, you tougher, smarter, and way more loving than I'll ever be. You're my ride or die chick. My drunken love. You're my window seat. I'm a lucky dude. Forever. Yeah. Well, let's out with it all in the mood. Done one already. Hey, look here. I mean, we had this chief just retire a couple weeks ago. Set the bar high, man. I said, okay, man, you done started something. But I was not going to not do that, and then my wife found out. That dude gave his wife a diamond necklace. So I was like, hey, I better hook my wife up. Okay, now before I get into my final remarks, what I want to do is I want to give some gifts here to my family real quick, and then we're gonna move on with the other stuff that we're doing here. So, Emma, if you help me out here. Hey, in my house, we don't do flowers. We don't do anything that dies. except for taking care of our human mother. We don't do that. For my sister Rudy, y'all okay? I'm gonna bring it to you. Hey, if you haven't noticed anything about tonight, about the patriotism and the flag, I won't do anything unless the American flag is there.
Yes, sir.
You ask anybody, St. Leo's University, anybody here from that? Hey, ask them what happened. Ask them what happened when I was getting ready to do the commencement speech at the Patriot Hall. Somebody had forgot the flag, and all I said was, well, I ain't got enough time. When you get a flag, let me know. They wouldn't have a flag from somewhere, but I was not standing in front of those folks without the American flag there and me in my military uniform. So I am real big about this flag, and people on this base know how I am when it comes to disrespecting it, even unintentional. You know, I tell you to pop a salute and stand at attention and be still, or pull your car over when the national anthem's playing. I guarantee you no one in here is going to correct me on that.
Yes, sir.
I have a problem with people doing that. So, one of my pet peeves. So, I'm going to make sure all my family's got a flag. My mom and dad, I'll get the same thing. Now, I'm going to tell you something special about these flags. All these flags were flown in combat. And they were flown by a lot of special operation forces and a lot of the people that me and my wife personally know, because we were in AFSOC for so long, we were at Herbert Field, and a lot of the units were over in Afghanistan when she was there this last time around. This one goes to, no. This goes to my mother-in-law, putting up with me for the last 7 months. Thank you. I love you. You got it? All right. All right. Where's Therese Green at? Remember, where's Therese? Oh, never mind. I have a joke for you, but I'll tell it later. And of course, I gotta have something a little bit different. This is for my wife, and I will tell you, this was all concocted by my wife. It was all done by her. And she was there on the ground. I just said, hey, I need all this stuff here. She got it for me. But you truly are a warrior, and I appreciate you, so I want you to display this at our house. Not in my man cave. Display that with pride. Okay.